What's up, all my Nickipediacs? When I was 18 years old, I took a trip with my dad around the world in 79 days. Not 80, but 79. True story. Along the way, I had some pretty strange dishes like deep-fried grasshoppers, boar's stomach, and fish head soup, which seemed to be like everywhere. So this got me thinking, what other kinds of strange food is out there? So today, I present to you the top 27 strangest foods on the planet. Do you want to do that one more time? Iceland is pretty gnarly and just got a whole lot gnarlier with this dish. It's called hákarl, which is, of course, rotted shark meat. To make hákarl, simply behead a shark, bury the body in the ground, and leave it there for 6 to 12 weeks, giving it ample time to ferment. Then dig up the putrid rotting meat, cut it into small strips, and hang it out to dry for another couple months. This method, which was founded by the Vikings, originated as a way to make the poisonous Greenland shark edible. So next time you're on a road trip and you want to offend everyone in the car, ditch the beef jerky and go for the rotted dried shark meat. From Iceland, we'll head on down to Mexico for some tacos. But these are no ordinary tacos. These are actually filled with escamoles. Escamoles are the larvae of venomous ants that lay their eggs in the roots of agave and maguey plants. They're pretty difficult to harvest, but on the upside, they're said to taste like a nutty cottage cheese. At least they got that going for them. If Escamoles is just, well, too larvae, maybe be down for a little corn fungus. Not to be confused with toenail fungus that looks like corn chips, because that is disgusting. I would never eat that. The Mexican food, huitlacoche, is a blue-black tumor-like growth with an earthy, woody taste. The name literally translates to sleeping excrement, and they don't charge extra for that. Next time you take a shot to the family jewels, you can at least take solace that they aren't being served for dinner. In Japan, the sperm sacs of cod, anglerfish, and pufferfish are considered delicacies, called shirako, which literally translates to white children. Can't even make that up. The food resembles a small white brain and is said to have a sweet, custardy-like taste. It's gonna take some balls to grab a bowl, but I believe in you guys. I do. Served in the Philippines, this food is called balut. It is a partially fertilized duck embryo that has been boiled alive in its shell. In order to eat it, you must first tap a hole in the top to drink the liquidy part of the egg, and then eat the embryo inside, feathers, bones, and all. So whatever you do, don't tell Big Bird about that. Typically, tarantulas are reserved for nightmares and horror movies like Arachnophobia and Indiana Jones, but now they're on the menu. In the late 1970s, Cambodians starving under the Khmer Rouge regime had to resort to eating these spiders to stay alive. But after the regime fell, this tarantula snack stuck around by popular demand and continues to be served as a deep-fried snack throughout the country. Matthew Santoro is a cool dude. Those Canadians, they can get pretty weird. Next on our list, jellied moose nose. The process involves boiling the nose of a moose with onions and spices, removing the hair, boiling it again, then slicing it up and covering it with a broth that turns it into a jelly. Or you could have just gone for the strawberry jam. In Sardinia, Italy, they do things a little differently. Somewhere along the way, someone looked at a block of pecorino cheese and thought, this cheese needs some maggots. And so, casu marzu was created. The name literally translates into English as rotten, putrid cheese. Yum. This cheese is made from adding the larvae of cheese flies to pecorino cheese, which then hatches and burrows inside it, eating and digesting the fats. The result is an extremely spicy cheese made with maggots. Removing the maggots before consumption, totally optional. Giant swarm of locusts set upon you? Perhaps a curse? No problem. Look to your deep fryer to solve your issues. In Israel, they serve deep-fried and chocolate-covered locusts, and they're kosher. Mazel tov. In China, you can find century eggs, which are eggs left in a mixture of clay, ash, and quicklime for a few months. When they're finally cracked open, the yolk has turned to a dark, slimy green goo, and the white has become a brown jelly. It smells like sulfur and ammonia, but tastes similar to a hard-boiled egg. So you probably could have just had the hard-boiled egg. You probably could have just started there. Thailand offers a delicacy named jing lead, which is a wok-fried grasshopper, which I've actually had. Tastes a lot like potato chip. Seasoned with salt, pepper, and chili, they are said to have tasted like popcorn, which makes me really curious if they serve these in Thai movie theaters. Rather than put another shrimp on the Barbie, some Australians swap it out for something a little more Lion King-y, a witchetty grub. It looks pretty much just like the grub that Timon and Pumbaa get down on, but that actually would be the wrong continent because we're talking about Australia. Popularized by the indigenous people of the desert, the grub can be eaten raw for an almondy taste or cooked for a crispier texture on the outside. Hakuna Matata, bro hams. Now, on to Africa. In Africa, stink bugs are often used to flavor stews as they release defensive pheromones before they die. They are also boiled and eaten on their own and are said to have a very similar taste to apples. And that doesn't stink. In various parts of Southeast Asia, you can try bird's nest soup, made with the nest of the swiftlet. Swiftlets typically make their nests out of seaweed, twigs, moss, and feathers, and hold it all together with their own saliva, or bird spit. Now, that's a dinner item that'll make you salivate. Fun fact, a pound of these bird nests goes for over $4,500. Are you a compulsive Las Vegas goer? Just can't stop rolling the dice? Perfect! It's time for you to gamble with your life on fugu. The intestines, liver, and ovaries of this blowfish contain a poison called tetrodotoxin, which is 1,200 times deadlier than cyanide. Consuming an amount equal to the size of a pinhead will kill you! This food prep is so dangerous that chefs are required to have 2 to 3 years of training to obtain a fugu preparing license. Or you could just eat like cod, you know? Cute furry guinea pigs, pets, or dinner. It really depends on where you live. In South America, some restaurant menus feature guinea pig, served whole and roasted like a chicken or in a casserole. Guinea pig is said to taste a lot like rabbit, but I'm cool just totally taking the word for it. Are you a fan of Patrick the Starfish? So are the Chinese. In China, vendors sell starfish as a quick snack. However, since the top of the starfish is covered in a hard armor and the bottom and 2 feet, you'll need to snap off the leg to get at the good stuff inside. Patrick had no chance. Taking the raw food trend to the next level, in Vietnam, you can eat the still beating heart of a cobra. It can be eaten raw and then followed by a cobra blood chaser, or taken with a glass of rice wine, or like sake basically. I honestly can't think of anything that would put more chest hair on you than this dish. Taking this raw thing even one step further, in China, the yin-yang fish has its head wrapped in a wet cloth, then its body is fried and eaten while the fish is still breathing. So basically, eating a deep-fried zombie fish. Still in the Asian quadrant of the world, Korea serves a dish that doesn't go down so easily. Literally, sanakji is live octopus, still squirming and wiggling as you eat them. And if you don't chew 20 times like you were taught as a child, the suction cups will stick to your throat on the way down and actually cause a choking hazard. We've covered why coffee makes you poop here on Nickipediacs, so let's just mix the two together for this next one. Kopi Luwak, also known as civet coffee, is a brew of coffee with ordinary coffee beans and coffee cherries that have been eaten, digested, and then pooped out by the Asian palm civet. And if you don't like the way it tastes, it's very easy here, people. You can claim that it tastes like butthole. It's not the size that matters, it's how you cook it. Beijing offers a dish that puts this to the test. Yak penis. Occasionally referred to as dragon in the flame of desire. Yak's penis is believed to be good for your health and is not recommended for men with inferiority complexes. Some strange foods are right in our backyard. In the Delta region of Mississippi, you can find kweet-lah-koh-chey, which are simply pickles soaked in Kool-Aid. I personally think, though, that the Kool-Aid Man and the Vlasic Stork should team up on this one for a Saturday morning cartoon series where they fight crime, and the Kool-Aid Man like busts in, and then the Stork is like takes him and throws pickles, and maybe he's got like pickles that come out of his eyes, you know, where he like drops pickles and they fight crime. I think it's gonna be a hit. It's gonna be amazing. I get 10%. Need something to even out the flavor of sour worms? How about salty worms? Pololo are small worms that live in the coral reefs off the coast of Samoa. They emerge from the coral every few years, and locals love to eat them plain, sauteed, or as a spread. These worms are said to taste like liver fermented in salt water. Okay guys, this next one is gonna get real gross. But let's go there together. Some people in Kazakhstan are adamant about eating every single part of the horse, which is already kind of gross. And inevitably, this will include the rectum. To do so, they take seasoned rib meat and stuff it into the casing of the rectum to create a tasty little butt sausage. The sausage is typically dried and then smoked before eating. God. Do you like cucumber? Do you like the ocean? Perfect! Harvested off the coast of Sitka, Alaska, sea cucumbers are cooked in a wok with soy sauce and taste like veggies. Disclaimer, this does not count as eating a real vegetable. Harnessing my roots and pride for the Buckeye State, in the Ohio River Valley, residents slice calf or pig brains, heavily batter them, and then toss them into a deep fryer. The dish originated with immigrants who came to the US from Germany and Holland. However, with the onset of mad cow disease, this food has decreased in popularity, but also because many Ohioans were turning into zombies. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. In the comment section below, let me know which one of these foods was, like, to you the most disgusting. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit it now because we have new videos every Tuesday and Friday, and we'll see you really soon.